Everybody, I am so excited for a headliner this evening. Super funny guy. He is the host of the Unemployed Open Mic Wednesdays at 4 p.m. I know you're home. Everybody, big round of applause for Mr. Cody Webb.
Hello, yes, it is me, Cody Webb. Thank you all for coming out. I fell for a John Stamos death hoax once. And I didn't realize he was still alive until 3 years later when I saw him in a yogurt commercial. And even then, my first thought wasn't, wow, John Stamos is alive? No, my first thought was, wow, where'd they get all this footage of John Stamos eating yogurts? Do you realize how crazy of a thought that is? In order for that to make any sense, John Stamos would have had to secretly record himself eating yogurts, not tell anyone, die in his mid-40s. His family would have to find that footage, wait the appropriate amount of time for the public to mourn the death of John Stamos, which is apparently 3 years, and then sell that footage to some yogurt company. I don't know which one it is, but given we're talking about John Stamos, I can guarantee it was Greek yogurt. To be perfectly honest with you guys, that's not my favorite joke in the world to tell, but I've got a very limited time frame to tell it. Like, I can only tell that joke while John Stamos is still alive. I can't come up here and say that I fell for a John Stamos death hoax once he's actually dead, because you know there's going to be one person in the audience who's going to be like, John Stamos is dead for real this time, you monster! Now, I can deal with a lot of things as a comedian, but being heckled by a die-hard Full House fan who has just been bereaved of John Stamos, not something I'm looking forward to. So I'm just gonna milk this joke while I still can. And honestly, I have no clue how long he's gonna live. Like, he was a sitcom star in the 90s. That is a complete wild card in terms of drug use. Like, he was either the kind of guy who would just mix drugs together just to see what would happen, or his only drug was his skincare routine. No in between. One of these days, I'll get good enough at comedy that I'll become famous, and then I can ask John Stamos directly so I can figure out how long I can do this joke. I don't know if you can tell, but I don't do drugs. It's not because I don't want to. It's just I don't want to ruin drugs' reputation. Like, I still want drugs to be cool for everybody else, you know? And if you're sitting there thinking, Cody, there's no way, you couldn't ruin drugs. Trust me, I can, okay? You do realize if I ever do cocaine, it's going to be through a crazy straw, right? And if I ruin cocaine, parties are done. They are over. I'm assuming I take out all stimulants in this scenario, but they are done. And given I want to do comedy full-time at some point, I don't think it's a good career move to become known as the guy that ruined the concept of parties. I don't want to be, So I'm just going to sit back, relax, not do drugs, okay? You're welcome. And that passive-aggressive you're welcome goes out especially to the stand-up comedians in the audience tonight. Because I know for about 40% of you, if you can't do drugs, you lose your entire personality. So you better start booking me for shit. I can use this power for good, however, instead of comedy evil. Like, I could stop the heroin epidemic whenever I want. I just need somebody to sell me heroin. But that's been harder than I thought it would be. I think it's because I give off undercover cop energy. I think I should change my opening line to, "Hey there, sir, do you have any of that good heroin over there? I can't wait to eat it and get all smacked up on its tarry goodness." Yeah, I think that might be the problem. Okay, actually, no, that's not true. The real problem is I'm afraid to go down alleyways past 4:30 p.m. That's the real reason nobody will sell me heroin. Speaking of heroin, man, I'm good at segues. Heroin is a big problem. I don't want to make light of it. It is a big problem, especially in rural areas like barns. But you'll never hear about it because they keep hiding their needles in the haystacks. Okay, yeah. Hi, yes, I am Cody Webb. I look like if mayonnaise had feelings. It's true in more ways than one, actually. I'm often found on sandwiches. I should never be taken to the beach. And I have been linked to several outbreaks of salmonella poisoning throughout the Pacific Northwest. Okay, that last one isn't true. I made it up. The only reason that's in there is because I read the entire Wikipedia page on mayonnaise, trying to get a third bit for this joke. And that was the best I could come up with. Like, my jokes may not always be funny, but they're well researched. A little bit about me. I am originally from Oregon. I moved to Boston for about a year, and I am back in Oregon. And I really like being back in Oregon because people here actually know how to pronounce Oregon. None of that Oregon stuff that you got in Boston. And every time somebody says Oregon, a little bit of me dies inside. It's not fun. But whenever they do, I just gently correct them, let them know, hey, it's pronounced Oregon. Because I don't want anyone to think that I disrespect the people of Massachusetts. The people of Boostown, Massachusetts were really nice to me. And I don't want them to think that I'm ungrateful for their hospitality, okay? And with all this Zoom comedy stuff, everybody I've met on the E-Ast, Co-Ast has been wonderful. Yeah. You gotta be nice to people. You don't want them thinking you're petty or something. I think if you took somebody from the 1980s and brought them to today, the thing they'd be most confused by wouldn't be Trump or COVID or smartphones or anything like that. I think they'd be most confused by how much the word radical has changed. It has made a massive transformation. Like, we've gone from radical brat to radical Islamic terrorism in the span of like 30 years. And I don't know how that happened. It makes me wonder, like, what, if any of my generation's terms are going to be co-opted by the news. Like, am I going to turn on CNN in 2055 and hear, breaking news tonight as a group of on-fleek hackers have taken over the electrical grid in Ecuador. The resulting panic caused a coup, and government officials were yeeted out of the Capitol building. The international community was quick to condemn the event, calling the attacks savage AF. I'm going to leave you off on this. Anti-maskers have been coming up with a lot of excuses for not wearing masks. And I think my favorite one, which is the most ridiculous, is if God wanted us to have a mask, we would have been born with a mask, or we would have evolved masks. I really wish they would apply that logic to other things in life. Like, if God wanted us to hunt deer, we would have been born with rifle arms. If God wanted me to play piano, I would have had 40 fingers on each hand. If God wanted me to learn how to read, he would have given me better eyes. Now I gotta get my glasses for that joke that didn't land. It's always the worst part. It's when you commit to a bit and it doesn't work and you gotta clean up after it. The awkward silence. Normally you'd expect laughter and you could do all that stuff during the laughter, but everyone's silent and just watching you sadly pick up your glasses as a joke didn't work. All right, I think I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much to Aaliyah, and thank you so much to the audience. I have been Cody Webb.
Woo! Thank you, Cody!